So welcome to the finite element method. Today we're going to discuss the principle of minimum potential energy equation. So before going to discuss minimum potential energy equation, let us going to be define the what would be the potential energy equation. So the potential energy equation we should define. So for this one, let us take the small elemental volume. So this is called as a small elemental volume. Small elemental volume. So the small elemental volume, let us say it is equal to the dV. So in a small elemental volume, let us say that this would be the third dimensional one, and in X as well as Y direction as well as Z direction. So this would be the X, and here it is the Y direction, and let us say it is in the Z direction. So in X direction, let us say the small u would be the displacement, and in Y direction, the small v would be the displacement, and in Z direction, let us say small w. So therefore, it is possible to say that the u comma small v comma w are the displacements in a displacements in X comma Y comma Z direction. So therefore, it is possible to say that the u would be the function of the, it may be the function of the X comma Y comma Z. Similarly, the v may be the function of the, it may be the function of the X comma Y comma Z. And similarly, the w is also maybe the function of the X comma Y comma Z, because the u, v, w are the three-dimensional displacement in X as well as Y as well as Z direction. Okay. Similarly, let us assume that there would be a small f would be acting on this one. Small f would be called as a, it is called as a, let us say it is called body force. Body force. So nothing but it is nothing but force per unit volume. So that is called Newton per meter cube or mm cube. And another parameter, let us say define that the T is called as a traction force. Traction force. So the traction force is defined as, it is called as a force per unit displacement or unit length. And another parameter, let us say that the P, and we can say it is called as an external force. External force. So these are the some of the parameters. And at this point of time, I'm going to be defined that the capital U would be the, it is a matrix, it is called as a displacement matrix. So the displacement matrix always, it is a column matrix. So this may be the function of the capital U may be the, it is defined as, it is a small u, small v, small w. So this would be the column matrix. This would be the column matrix. So with this notation, let us try to define the, or what would be the potential energy equation. And also similarly, and let us assume that the sigma would be called as a, it is called as a, defined as stress, and epsilon can be defined as, it is called as a strain. It is called as a strain. So with this notation, let us try to define the, what is the potential energy equation. So once you define the potential energy equation, we may be going to concentrate on the, what is the minimum potential energy equation. So the potential energy equation can be defined as, it is the summation of the strain energy as well as work potential. The potential energy can be defined as, the potential energy can be defined as, it is equal to the strain energy plus work potential, WP. It is called as a work potential. Now, let us define the, what would be the strain energy and work potential. The strain energy can be defined as, we know that strain energy from the basic strength of material, the strain energy and capital U can be defined as half into integral of sigma transpose into epsilon into dV. So this is called as a strain energy for a simple volume dV. Simple volume dV. Now, at this time, I may be going to define the what would be the work potential. The work potential WP can be defined as it is a minus of integral of, see here, the strain energy is it is called half into integral of sigma transpose epsilon into dV, and this is the volume integral. And similarly, in the work potential, you have to take the volume for the first parameter would be the volume integral of U transpose into F into dV, where U would be called as a here, it is the U can be called as a displacement vector. It is a function of the U comma V comma W. So here in the work potential, the first parameter can be defined as U transpose into F into dV. Let us say this would be the U. Okay. The next parameter would be the again minus of the surface integral of U transpose into T into, that is called surface force, into ds. Then the last parameter would be the minus of summation of I is equal to the 1 to n, I is equal to 1 to n into U transpose into P of I. So this is a work potential. At this point of time, I know the strain energy, I know the work potential. Therefore, it is possible to write as potential energy. The potential energy can be defined as, mathematically, it is a pi. So therefore, the pi can be defined as it is equal to the strain energy plus work potential. So this may be right in a mathematical form. This would be equal to the strain energy can be defined as it is equal to the half into integral of volume integral of sigma transpose into epsilon into dV. Then plus work potential, the automatically the plus into minus becomes that it is a minus of volume integral of U transpose, that is called nodal displacement, into F into dV. The next parameter would be the minus of surface integral U transpose of T into ds. And the last parameter would be the minus of summation of I is equal to 1 to n and U transpose into P suffix I. So this is called as a potential energy equation. To get the minimum potential energy equation, to get minimum or maximum, you have to be differentiate the above equation with respect to the variable. So let us assume that here the variables are the nodal displacement, and therefore it is possible to write as the differentiation of the dou pi with respect to the variable. Let us say the variable is equal to q and it must be equal to the 0. So if you do the differentiation of pi, that is called potential energy equation, with respect to the variable and equate to 0, therefore you're going to get the minimum potential energy equation. Minimum potential energy equation. Again, I'm repeating at this point of time, you have to write down the potential energy equation. Once you get the potential energy equation, you need to be differentiate the pi with respect to the variable in the given equation. If one variable is there, then you have to differentiate one time and equate to 0. You'll get only one equation. If two variables are there in a given equation, therefore 2 times you have to be differentiate the pi with respect to the first variable and equate to 0. So then you have to differentiate the pi with respect to the second variable and equate to 0. Therefore, you will get the 2 equations. If number of variables are increasing, or if number of variables are, let us say, n, so therefore you will get the n equations after performing the minimum potential energy equation. So again I'm repeating that in a potential energy equation, the number of variables are n, so therefore you're going to get the minimum potential energy equations are n equations.